I don't know whether I must start with a question from that lady. It was a difficult question, but ndithi xa ndiyijonga ndazixelela into okokuba once I met this situation, because I've also had a grandson who has got a problem. Then a problem yakhe was to not listen to the instruction, and was always getting reports from the school that he doesn't listen to the instruction. And then we didn't understand what was the problem. Then she passed, but very weak. It was a weak pass. Uthe xa grade 6, he repeated the class. Then we changed school. Xa efika kwesinye isikolo, there was nothing. Up until grade 11. Now he is stuck. We cannot do anything. But I'm trying to search for the skills school. Then when we come to my baby girl, my princess, sure, it was very difficult. And then I said to my children, the only thing we can do here is just to accept the way she is. There is nothing. And then we have to educate the community. That is all we can do. Kwakubuhlungu when we went to church with her, abantu were talking. Mama Stirman, this child is making a noise. Why you amnandi? Then I decided one day, let me leave her, because I don't want to spoil my day at church. Till now, we don't go to church together. And it's very, very painful to me.
As I've said in my at the beginning, that I have no experience in terms of autism. But as I was speaking to Sanshia, I realized that I've been living with a child with autism the whole year, because she mentioned the schools that she goes to, and I was with Uyimange. My wife will tell the challenges that we were experiencing with him, but that's not the issue. Thank you very much for this. Two things in assisting the condition of, okanye in assisting in my journey of healing, is a question of I had to learn to unlearn. Learning to unlearn that structurally there's government that requires men, or there's government that requires form where you sign I'm a male or I'm a female. You know, I had to unlearn to treat myself as a human being and stop being this man. Men don't cry. Men are not supposed to be vulnerable. I have to put up a bold face, and I have to react in any situation, including Rampokane, that I will, what are you doing in my space? So learning to unlearn these challenges helps us, you know, and practicing that, because in my community work or whatsoever, I want to be in a space whereby I teach these young men. Now I'm teaching myself that, boys, it's not about hitting back. you can walk away. It's not about fighting, it's about negotiating. And love is important. Those are the things. You know, I always share this story that the first time I said I love to my mom, we were talking telephonically, and because my daughter taught me, she would fight if I don't say I love you at the close when I put the phone down. It will be like a big thing. And that time you had to go and buy airtime and so that she can say I love you. So now one day, I felt let me say it to my mom. Hi, good night, mom, love you. And she was like, boom, and the phone went down. There's not enough love and caring, sharing amongst ourselves, especially as African people, because of cultural, these cultural stereotypes that we're having. Thanks for the word. And those are kind of things that I wish that we can encourage each other in the home with your sons, you know, irrespective whether, because that reaction is fear. But the minute you extend love, it helps to empower that individual. And these cultural challenges are there, but we should put them into context. They are not meant to suppress the other. They are meant to grow the culture. They are meant to build humanity. They are meant to base or root ourselves culturally. Not necessarily that mama, so she's supposed to be in the kitchen, but as I said, I've been brought up by a woman, and I always say in my quotations that there's no better man I know than my mother, because my father was not there when my mom made sure that I made a man. So, so we need to unlearn these things, and we need to learn to unlearn this. That there are people that think otherwise. She's black, she's young, but she's English in a Xhosa based home. So those are kind of things that we need to be flexible with ourselves. We need to be gentle with ourselves. We need to love ourselves. That's the contribution that I can share for now. Yoshua's not here. Oh.
Hi, sorry I didn't get my questions.
No.
Oh, and
Oh, no. For my, it was just about asking the panel, strategies that they've used to get to a point of healing, really. Because the recognition is you don't just get healed, there are steps that you need to go through. So I was specifically looking into what is the one thing that really got you to where you are at this point in time. Yeah.
okay. For me, I think it was acceptance. That's number one. But I was accepting something that I didn't know. Yeah, I was accepting something that I didn't even know that it's going to come with challenges. And you don't even think what kind of challenges I'm going to experience. One thing that I did first was to grieve. But I was very quick to come to terms with it. Reason being, back then, it was 2008. And I was only married for 4 years. And in the family, no one understands this. And no one is trying to understand this. Even though myself, I wasn't understanding it. But you could tell that the people are not interested to understand it. So for me, I sat there and I said to myself, there's no point of grieving for iminyaka. I don't have time. I need to quickly move on. So I had to accept this thing without even understanding ukuthi these are the challenges engizobhekana nazo. I didn't know. And you all understand that in autism space, there's so many challenges. There is so many challenges. There's social. I heard the other parent here, I can't remember, but talking about getting your son or your daughter an ID. I remember going to Home Affairs in Edenvale, and I said to the people there, I need to speak to the manager because I need to come and do ID on Fanawam. Oh, why do you need to speak to the manager if you want to do an ID? I said, well, I need to speak to the manager of the center. And I explained to the person, to the guy who said, I need to bring my son for your ID. But now he cannot sit in that cubicle. That's number one, because he's claustrophobic. 2, he's not going to sit straight for you to be able to take a picture. 3, he cannot look at the camera. 4, so there were so many things. I was so fortunate to meet this guy, and he says, oh, well, no problem. When are you planning to come? So they had a station set up for him to do an ID. And I said to this lady taking pictures, well, don't worry, just keep taking pictures. So I was standing next to him here. He's sitting. So the first picture, the second picture, the third picture. So I said, just continue. Just take pictures. Just take pictures until you get the right picture. Until you get a picture where he's focusing. You understand? So his ID photo is like, huh? So it's an ID photo. Do you understand? And then back of and idea I'm unable to sign because he cannot read or write. Not that I'm worried about that. Unable to sign. So there is so many challenges that we face. Even coming here from Johannesburg, it is not a problem. But from here, going back to Johannesburg is always a problem. Because there, you don't actually see the aircraft. You know, you walk and walk and walk, and finally you sit. You understand? So he's scared of heights. So a month before we travel, then I have to sort of like tell him that Uvile is going to fly. What? Then you can see his face. Then you have to show him pictures on TV that Uvile is going to fly. Then you have to go outside and show him a flight, and you say, here's Uvile. Hi, Uvile. Oh, Uvile is smiling on a flight. Then you go, like, is it me going to be on that flight? Do you understand? Until the day of the flight. Now, going from here to Johannesburg, now you have to walk outside and see there's the aircraft standing, and you have to go up the stairs. So you can imagine the trauma. Do you understand? And you have to even sensitize the people working at he's autistic. Don't worry about it. Do you understand? Everywhere you go, you have to keep talking to the people like crazy. Umama is talking about going to church. Mama, we go to church. We go to church. And in December, we're moving here to PE. I'm going to find a church. And the first thing I do when they introduce me a church, hi, my name is Utuma Nguvile. Uvile une autism. And these are the challenges enizawufacana nazo apha enkonzweni, and I'm not going anywhere because I'm going to fellowship with you khona apha. Maphakama esiyaphaya walk around. Don't worry, just praise God. Forget about him. Yenza lento uzoyenza enkonzweni. We understand? And you even sit with the pastor and tell the pastor ukuthi autism yintoni. So you educate wherever you go. So these are the challenges that we face every day. Umfana claustrophobic, akafike fitting room as old as he is, a 20-year-old. Makafike fitting room, ewulwethi ngithi maphanga phandle, nxiba. Afake skipper ngithi akangene fitting room. ngithi mise ngaphandle faka iskipa ngifuna ukubona ukuthi siyamlingana na. I'm not going home with this t-shirt until asifithe esile t-shirt. Enakazuyifithela ngaphandle ngaphakathi uzoyifithela ngaphandle. Uyeba? So there are so many challenges. So when I accepted, I said I don't think I knew exactly ukuthi ngangi-acceptani, but I was just saying it is well with my soul. Do you understand? I was just saying it is well with my soul. That's why we celebrate the small things. That's why you don't worry if he cannot do this. You only focus on the things that they can do.
Thank you so much, parents. There was one question from Dada, which I'm going to open up for, and then we'll go to our next item in the program.
Ndiyabonga. Uthetha ngutata uMagwa usuka eTinarha. Lo mfana la becanga kwam uNathi unyana wam ngumagqibela lo. Abantwana bam bayi-5. Bonke abantwana bam bafundile bavela emalana ama-B technical. Kodwa ke uNathi ngelishwa yena ke zange ayifumane opportunity. Kodwa ke is a blessing from God bandifumana yena. uNathi ndimse esikoleni eMncibhadi ndimphawulile phaa endlini bangaba uyathanda uqumba and ke wenza izinto ungazi-understandiyo aqonde umntana konwabanga mandithi uyaphithizela hleli nje uyasebenza uyabhala into esingazazi ntontoni yabo and bengumuntu okokuxa ngaba mhlawumbi umonile bakuthanga kweyixolo hayi ke usengxakini noba kukule veki zayo uqumbile akuyazi uqumbele ntoni aze kuthi kati kanguthi ixolo kum so ufuna ukuthi ixolo kuyaze abe satisfied uNathi. Hayi ke samsazama umsa esikoleni uNathi samfundisa nasetown ezomase uNathi akalungi uNathi nabaye abantwana kadisi abavisisani kakuhle nomisi kathi na amana uNathi kwathini engeke akathanda utsalwa yabo ngalaa ukugorana abantwana mhlawumbi athi into ethile uNathi akazithanda ezo nto ezo heyi ndamsa esikoleni eTinarha eDawa wayofunda khona uNathi heyi awacabuna nalapha kaphasi kwakutitsharakazi orayithi walo titsharakazi wekhaladi wathi no man nomntana lo ingathi une-autism ndibuza mna yintoni autism wathi umntana loyo kalawuleki so ungaye kwisikolo salana ndisiphi isikolo sale nto kuthiwa sisebhayi South Quest kupha bendichazele heyi kukude apha ke ndizame shem ndimse phaa athathwe uNathi ke phaa but ke into yayisenzeka ngenangabi namoto ngelaa xesha betransport bendimthatha kule ndawo ndomthula kwenye indawo aphinda bekhona iitransport ezi-6 a day uNathi bekhona kade kayi-6 khuphe ezo mali intata imali amendodla ndenzo loo migudu usa uNathi eQuest. uNathi ufika kweQuest bengomntana bendithi besokola uthetha yabo bepiqanisa bekuthetheni bengathethi lawe njengomntu wonke yabo ya bebethwa yiloo nto ne-communication yakhe kodwa kwenzeka eQuest yamzama uNathi hashem nanxa ubuyana umfumanisa uba noko mos ngoku akusafani nakuqala ko and uNathi into ebeyithanda kakhulu ku-ata abhala ku-uNathi abhala ndamngabhala uGenerations bengamqali njengomnye umntu aqale ngo-G beqala ngapha anyuke naye ndiqonda uba heyi uNathi yabhida ngobhida nabo bakhulu bavele eyunivesithi obrother bakhe bathetha igama le-English elirongo athi no walithetha ukuthi eli gama lithetha ukuthi ndiqonda uba heyi yintoni uNathi mos ititshala yabantu kodwa yena kangaye eyunivesithi ayephina fundele ku-uNathi eQuest but ke ngokwathiwa ke eQuest after 18 years the end of the road akho nto aphinda ku-uNathi qonda heyi ibuhlungu ke ngoku le nto and leyo baburhulumente benobenze mna noba yinto yabona ndabulela ke usisikhosi athatha inxaxheba ngo-uNathi basomxelela uba uNathi iya-ata wayenza ku-uNathi wa-ata uNathi ubona laa mizobo iphaa uNathi lenzelana uNathi uyakwazi umdrowusha umntu uNathi uyakujonga nje njengekujongela akuzobe uphume njengobungulaa mntu nguneprincipal eseQuest wayizoba uNathi ihle mambombe lo mntana esakhona so ndabulela inxaxheba kasisi uba wengca kule nto kakuNathi yakona nathi ezama usikhuthaza kule nto kakuNathi ngoku enye into ebendifuna uza kuye ngokumama unokuzola no kulaa nto yalaa ntoni elayeza turmeric ya ndinomzukulwana wam phaa one-worms ne ngoba ndifuna uqonda uba ifumaneka phi i-white pepper yona ndiyazi iyafumaneka i-black pepper I mean ya ifumaneka phi yona le turmeric supermarket okay alright enkosini ke ma
Enkosi kakhulu tata, ndathemba umbuzo wakho uphendulekile. Ukwazile uphendula mama kanti kunika i-chance. Kuthiwa ka-Shoprite and Pick and Pay. Bazali, once again, let's give a round of applause to our panelists.